and we'll get ready to go racing for 45 laps.
Caution lights out atop the Bristol Toyota Pace truck. As Al Almirantes is ready to take that hard left-hand turn. Paul Lallier and Bobby Tripp at the top of the field, ready to have at it as they get ready to roll off of turn number 4. Who's it going to be? 45 laps from now, off of turn number 4 they come. Tim Baldock waves a double green. We are underway down into turn number 1.
Down into the corner they go, side by side. Bobby Tripp rockets out of turn number 2. He'll take the lead over Paul Lallier as they roll through 3 and 4 across the stripe. It is Bobby Tripp to the lead.
The Everetts Auto Parts number 88 taking over the top spot, now shutting the doors. Paul Lallier settles into the number 2 spot. Ryan Flood holding on a third, and here comes Mark Hudson up on the outside, 3 wide, deep in the pack. Look at Digas Barry work that third groove around and into the top 7 cars. Paul Lallier down to the inside, a trip off of 4.
Down the front stretch they go. Ryan Flood to the inside of Lallier. He's going to back out of it as Lallier holds on to second. It's Mark Hudson, though, up to the outside of Flood for that third position. They race down through 3 and 4, and side by side behind them, it's Adams and Digas Barry.
Flood and Hudson racing wheel to wheel down into turn number 3. Lallier loose off the corner, slides up the racetrack. Flood not able to take advantage. Look at the 56, the Bond out of the inside. Tommy makes it 3 wide off of 4, picks up a couple of spots, line him sideways off of 4. One more time as they get ready to roll off of turn number 4. Tripp. Lallier up on the throttle. Tripp spins the tires. Lallier hangs tight as they head down into turn number 1.
Great battle down through 1 and 2. Lallier with the advantage. Down the back into turn number 3. Bobby Tripp still holds strong on the bottom lane. Off turn number 4 they come. Bobby Tripp with the advantage across the stripe down into turn number 1.
Wheel to wheel at the top of the field. They roll off of turn number 2, and Ryan Flood sits in that third position. Mark Hudson 4th. Tommy Adams rounds out the top 5 as they come off of turn number 4. Tripp sideways, goes around in front of the pack down to the infield grass. Caution flag is out. 39 laps remaining in this one. Off of turn number 4, up on the throttle. Green flag is back out, and a nice even start down into turn number 1. Lallier hanging on down low. Flood drifts up the racetrack. Here comes Hudson looking for some running room down on the inside.
Down on the inside.
Oh, Flood comes down. Contact is made, heavy contact right there in the middle of the field. 4 cars involved, and it looks like the 31 of Goodrow, the 03 of Glachaki are both involved, and there was one other car, that is the 3 of Jeremy Lilly with nowhere to go. And that all started when Ryan Flood, who was running second, slid up the racetrack down the backstretch, and when Mark Hudson got a run underneath, he slid down the racetrack to try to hold on to that spot, and Mark was already there. And Richie's doing a fine job early on. 6 laps in, and it looks like Glachaki is going to end up calling it a night. Still waiting to see if Goodrow or Lilly are able to make it back out onto the racetrack. Still at lap number 6. 39 laps remain in this one. Caution lights are out. And the Bristol Toyota Pace truck ready to take that hard left-hand turn down into the center of the infield. Paul Lallier and now Mark Hudson at the top of the field, ready to have at it. Still up in the air as they come off of turn number 4. Green flag unfurls one more time. Lallier and Hudson race down into turn number 1, and Paul's got to be careful because he's got Adams ready to jump on him down on the inside as they hit turn number 3.
Yeah, down into 3 and 4 they go. Adams a little loose. He's going to lose some momentum there. Hedges thought about challenging, but he backs out of it. They race down through 1 and 2. Lallier starts to pull away now. It's Hudson battling Adams down the back into 3.
Tommy Adams sliding in down to the inside as he and Hudson go Nerf bar to Nerf bar across the stripe. Adams up into the number 2 spot. He's got Hedges glued to his rear bumper, and behind them they've got the 11 of Urich, the 35 of Chase Belcher, the 10 of Ryan Lynham, all working their way up through the field as they come off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 9. Adams is off the pace. Tommy Adams is off the pace, and Mark Hudson loses a handful of positions as he got caught behind the MTV Solutions number 56. He's not going to be able to make it back around, and the caution flag is out for the 4th time in this event for a problem on that number 56.
The 0 of Tracy, the 28 of Bo, the 75 of Romiza, the 56 of Adams, and the 08 of Murray. Your field as it stands.
The Bristol Toyota Pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn down to the center of the infield, and one more time we will wind it up off of turn number 4, Paul Lallier. And Josh Hedges getting ready off the corner. They wind it up one more time. Green flag is out. Lallier gets a half a car length on Hedges as Josh works that outside lane. The Chuck Auto Parts machine trying to put it through its paces, and here comes Jerry D. Digas Barry, the 7-time late model champion, takes a look down to the inside, 3 wide momentarily as Lallier is able to hang on and hold on to the number 1 spot.
Lallier got very loose coming off that corner there, but not enough for Jerry D to make the move. Now, underneath Josh Hedges, they roll through 3 and 4. Off the corner they come. Digas Barry, a great run off turn number 4. He looks to clear for second. Just about does. Hedges holds on to that outside.
And while they're battling up at the front, look who's coming hard on the outside is that black number 10 of Ryan Lynham as Uhrig slides underneath Mark Hudson. In that battle for 5th, Hedges back to 4th now as a Renegado is up to 3rd. Battle for the lead up at the front of the field. Here comes Jerry D. Takes a look down low as they hit 3 and 4. Jerry Digas Barry becomes the 3rd leader of this event with a Renegado on his tail.
And back of the pack there, Tommy Adams well off the pace in that 56. A tough break for him. But back up front, Vinny Renegado hops into that 2nd position. Looks low off turn number 4. Jerry D, a good run down to the bottom in turn number 1. He'll hold on to the lead for now, off 2.
Hedges now going to work on the 70 of Lallier, taking a look down to the inside. Down to turn number 3 is Uhrig, having a good run up inside the top 5, and Adams has closed the book on this one as he's pulled down into the infield. Bobby Tripp and Ryan Lynham racing side by side for 7th as they come off of turn number 2. Lynham working that outside lane. Here comes Chase Belcher down to the inside of Uhrig. Down low he goes as they come off of 4.
29 laps to go here. It's Jerry D leading a Renegado with Lallier holding off Hedges. Chase Belcher down to the bottom of Uhrig. He takes 5th away entering turn number 3. And a little battle behind him is Lallier down to the inside of the 10 of Lynham, now 4.
Chase Belcher has worked himself up nicely through the field. Started 16th. Caution flag is out. Mark Hudson has slowed up down the front back straightaway and brought that machine down to a halt. The rustic fire protection, Hicks Garage, MH Enterprises number 82. He gets that car refired and will settle in at the tail end. 2 cars that have definitely been fast enough to pass cars on the inside and the outside. 16 laps complete, 29 laps remain in the 45-lap main event, round 1. For the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series, Jerry Digas Barry Jr., Vinny Renegado Jr. at the top of the field. Up on the throttle they come. We're back underway, and Jerry gets a jump. Lallier trying to squeeze in underneath the Renegado. Gets a nose up underneath as they come off at turn number 2.
Down into 3 and 4. They go a little bit of contact there between Lallier and a Renegado. Sends a Renegado high as he comes in. He's able to corral it back in, though. Hold on to that 2nd position as he and Paul Lallier battle it out coming out of 2.
A Renegado tried to shut the door and realized that the 70 was right there as they make contact again. Lallier slides way up the racetrack, and a warning from the starters as they hit turn number 1. Battle for the number 2 spot has allowed Digas Barry to break away from the field by 6 car lengths over the rest of the grid.
Down through 3 and 4. It's a Renegado still in the outside lane in that 2nd position. But how about Jerry D leading the way as he comes down the back into turn number 3, battling throughout the pack, side by side through that top 10. What a great night.
Lallier keeping a Renegado wound up on the outside, using up those right side tires as they battle side by side. Here comes the 35 of Belcher battling with the 11 of Uhrig. The 29 of Hedges is right there in front as they cross the stripe, dead even for that 5th position. Down off of turn number 2. Here comes this 29, taking a look to the inside. The 70 got a little bit crossed up. Lallier hangs on as they come off of 4, and it's a Renegado back up into the number 2nd spot as he shuts the door.
Battle behind him for that 5th position. Nick Uhrig down to the bottom underneath the 35 of Chase Belcher as they race down the back. Top 3 in front of him have strung themselves out just a little bit, and there's a but a full front straightaway ahead to Jerry Digas Barry, who's leading the way coming off turn number 2.
Vinny Renegado running just a tick quicker than Jerry D as they circle the third mile. 24 laps complete. Can Renegado catch the 71 and find himself sitting in Everetts Auto Parts victory lane for the second time, or will it be Digas Barry holding on for the win? Keep an eye on that battle for the number 3 spot. Josh Hedges all over the back bumper of Paul Lallier. Taking a look down to the inside. Paul keeping tight down low. Meanwhile, behind them, the 7 of Tyler Lallier backsliding just a little bit as the 88 of Bobby Tripp and the 10 of Ryan Lynham slide in underneath.
Lynham underneath Lallier. Lallier able to keep it side by side as Bobby Tripp in front of the 10. Lallier jumps back. He will drop that position to Lynham, and here comes Richie Murray looking to challenge back in the pack to move up in front of Lallier.
Richie Murray trying to work himself back up through the field, and now that heated battle that we talked about earlier between Bobby Tripp and Ryan Lynham is about to heat up one more time. Ryan all over the back bumper of the Everetts Auto Parts, number 88. The Rhode Island Recovery Machine takes a look to the outside. That's the battle for 6th, down off of turn number 2.
Off the corner they come. It is Jerry D leading another lap, but Vinny Renegado has jumped up 0.2 of a second over the last few laps here on the 71 of Digas Barry. Only a second and a half back as they race through 3 and 4 to cross another lap off the board.
Battle for 3rd as Hedges gets a run underneath Lallier and takes away that number 3 spot. Paul back to 4th now with Yurig still rounding out the top 5. He's got a lot of pressure from Chase Belcher as Chase takes a look to the outside there. Lynham has closed the door on Bobby Tripp up into the 7th spot, and he's going to need some help to get up into the top of the field as Jerry D continues to dominate this one late in the race. 31 laps, 32 are complete. 13 laps remain in round 1 of the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series for the Everetts Auto Parts late models.
Vinny Renegado closing in another 1/10 of a second here. 1.4 second lead for Jerry D over the 17 of Renegado. They get a huge gap back to the rest of them with 33 laps on the board, 12 to go. Can Jerry D hold off and take home his first win of the season? Or will Vinny Renegado close in and take that lead away?
11 laps from here to the finish, and it's still 1.5 seconds between first and second. Vinny was able to slightly close in, but has not been able to really gain anything. Battle for 4th off of turn number 2. The 11 of Nick Yurig down underneath. The 70 of Paul Lallier with 10 laps to go, this time across the stripe. Lallier caught on the outside, and Belcher looking to work himself up into the top 5 as they head down the back straightaway.
And here comes the big X factor for Jerry D. He's coming up on the 28 of Kevin Bowe, the 75 of Louis Romiza. Will he be able to cleanly get by these 2 cars at the back of the field, or will he get caught up and allow Vinny to catch up?
If you're taking a look at the leaderboard and you don't see the number 17 of Vinny Renegado up there, do not be alarmed, or maybe be alarmed, because his transponder has stopped working. Is there a problem on the 17? Usually that is indicative of a charging problem. Well, with 7 laps remaining, let's hope it doesn't get too bad. Deep in the field, they are battling as Bobby Tripp tries to hang on, and Jerry D is closing in that gap real quick. Is that going to be an issue with 5 laps? Trouble down the backstretch. The 08 of Richie Murray goes around off of turn number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought this was over, we got a 7-lap shootout on this one. But he is second, even though it's not up on the leaderboard. We know where he is. Jerry Digas Barry and Vinny Renegado line up off of 4 and get the green. We're back underway. Jerry once again jumps out front. Here comes Hedges taking a look to the inside of Renegado down the back straightaway. That is the battle for the number 2 spot.
Down through 3 and 4 they go. Jerry D continues to lead over Vinny Renegado. Obviously not as comfortable as the lead as he had earlier, but that 71's been strong as he races down the back. 1, 2, 3 with the Renegado and Hedges. Belcher down to the bottom for 4th.
Belcher taking a look down to the inside of Yurig off of turn number 4. That's the battle for the number 4 spot, and Lynham is right there behind as well. 5 laps remaining this time, and Jerry D back in control by 2 car lengths down into turn number 3. Renegado second, Hedges third. Battle for 4th off the corner with the 35 and the 11 racing wheel to wheel. Yurig has the advantage up on the outside.
Down through 1 and 2 they go down the back. It's still Belcher and Yurig for that 4th position, holding off Ryan Lynham from sneaking his way into the top 5. A little bit of contact there between the 35 and 11 as they race across the stripe down into turn number 1, but they are dead even out of 2.
Down the backstretch they go, and it is Urich keeping pace up on the outside, having a great run there. 2 laps to go. Digas Barry in control. Down the backstretch with a 3-car length advantage over a Renegado into 3 and 4. Hedges holds on to 3rd with the white flag high in the air.
Across the stripe and down into 1, it's Jerry Digas Barry Jr. looking to hold off Vinny Renegado. Renegado's closed that gap a little bit, but Jerry D rolls into 3.
Checkered flag high in the air, and Digas Barry becomes the 4th different winner of 2021. A Renegado will finish 2nd, 3rd will go to Josh Hedges, Chase Belcher 4th, and Nick Urich rounding out the top 5. So 4 races, 4 different winners. Round 1 of the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series goes to Jerry Digas Barry Jr. We'll talk to our top 3 trackside. 3rd place finisher, former truck champion Josh Hedges. And Josh, a good run, a couple of battle scars out there too.
Man, I'll tell you, these guys are some of the best in New England. This is some good late model racing. Just a hard-fought battle. A lot of fun.
Some good people behind you helping you get back onto the podium. 2nd time this year we get to talk.
Yeah, I owe most all of this to Steve Blaze. He came on board to help us out, and it's showing. You know, there's still some more speed in this thing. Of course, my dad, Mark. I got to give a shout out to Mark, Kevin, Michelle, my fiance Allie. I know I'm missing people. Just everybody. Chuck and Auto Parts, Hedges Excavating, Sousa Media, just everybody involved.
Getting closer and closer to carrying that checkered flag. Good run. Josh Hedges finishing 3rd here tonight. Our 2nd place finisher, Vinny Renegado, our points leader coming into tonight. Vinny, we talked earlier and they say that's why it's called racing and not winning. Boy, that was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we love to win, I think it's just the competitiveness in us. And, we had a pretty good car. I mean, we made quite a few adjustments through practice and trying to get a hang on it, through the hot weather. So making a couple adjustments, and I think we gained on it, just a touch free. But, it was some good hard racing, and hats off to Jerry and his crew. I had a stout piece there. We really didn't have anything for him.
And you got a long list of people to thank that are behind you.
Yeah, I just got to thank all my sponsors for helping us out do this week in and week out. I mean, without any sponsors, this racing is tough. I'd like to thank Rob McCabe Construction, Anubis, Gerard Building, Sadow, A1 Paving, S&R Plastering, East Bay Quality Hardwood Floor, Bam Powder Coating, Navigate Credit Union, Nacho Mamas, Elmwood Dodge, Mark Waters, thank you very much, Malik's Liquors, and Holmes Landscaping. Without all these guys here, I don't think I'd be standing here.
Well, great job. Congratulations. The 2nd place finish for Vinny Renegado. And our winner for the first time in 2021. How about a round of applause for Jerry Digas Barry Jr.
That gives them so Thanks, bro. Thank you. Thanks. It's always a pleasure with you. You know that. Hey, yes, sir. Always a pleasure with you, bro. Yep.
Jerry, congratulations. Welcome back to Everetts Auto Parts Victory Lane. A good night to do it tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be back here. Wow, it feels like it's been forever since we've been back here, but to beat that guy right there, that says something by itself.
A long layoff last year. Did you get rejuvenated a little bit? Did you get that fire back in the belly a little bit more?
We had the fire the last time we ran here the full season. We just missed by a little bit. And then last year we bounced around a little bit and we weren't that good, so it was kind of a reality check. And I got to thank these guys behind me, man. These guys never stopped working. Naturally, my old man's not here tonight. That's just always the way. But the good news is Bryce was here tonight, so that's a plus.
It definitely is. Now tell us about the race. Smoothly, quietly, you worked your way up into the number 2 spot. You and Paul battled a little bit. All of a sudden, you're setting the pace and dominating.
It was kind of ugly. I was kind of crying like a little girl at the beginning of Skeeter on the radio because I knew at the outside we were going to be in trouble. And then we just got real aggressive. We went 3 wide up the middle twice, and we got hung out once, and the thing was really good on the outside. And then every restart, we were fourth, and then we got 3rd. And I'm like, oh, perfect here. Maybe we can make a move happen. Paul was a little tight. We got under him, and then Skeeter just kept telling me I was driving away, which I couldn't believe. And then that last caution with 7 to go, I come on the radio like a baby again, and I said, nope, this is where we lose the race. It never fails. A late rate caution always costs the race, and thankfully tonight it came through for us.
A lot of people behind you getting you back to Everetts Auto Parts Victory Lane.
I do, but first I got to thank Phil from Phil's Propane for putting this series on for us. Phil's always been a great, great supporter of the late model division, and I truly thank him and his company for that. I got to thank all my sponsors, the guys. These guys work endlessly on this car. I can't thank them enough. My family, my parents, everybody involved in it, and most importantly, Seekonk Speedway for having us back.
Congratulations, picking up the win here tonight. How about our top 3 in round 1 of the Phil's Propane Triple Crown Series? 3rd place to Josh Edges, 2nd to Vinny Renegado, and back in Everetts Auto Parts Victory Lane, Jerry Digas Barry Jr.